all of you. I'm not going to have my Marco Rubio moment. Put that down here. But thanks, Nancy, for that really nice introduction, and I am just delighted to be here with all of you. I've seen friends I haven't seen in years and years, and friends who've gone back with me for a long, long time. Delighted to be here with Amy Murray and Steve Wilson and Marion Christie, and just good buddies who go out and walk those dogs and do good things in the community. And most of all, you're here supporting our good friend Nancy Aichholz in her campaign for Hamilton County Auditor. And I'm really here to talk to you about Nancy today. I'm not going to bore you with too many stories about me or our life, but I just want you to know that I think Nancy is a remarkably capable person who's taking on this challenge for all the right reasons, and she would be awesome in this job. And it's so great that all of you are showing up today. Some of you know Nancy well, some of you are getting to know her today, but we're spreading the word and getting the message out that we're not just here for a nice lunch in a beautiful setting on a lovely spring day, and it's all of that for sure. But we're really backing a candidate who's very well qualified to take on this race and this office come November. So let me tell you a few things you may not know about our friend Nancy. She's a Cincinnati native, and she grew up in Hyde Park, then moved to Anderson, where she graduated from Anderson High School, correct? We all need to know that about people in Cincinnati, right? That's like the one box you have to check. She's a 1984 Ohio State University graduate who returned home after graduation to work in the private sector at Chiquita Brands and then at Great American Broadcasting. She learned a lot through those positions about the corporate world and also about how a rising economy can lift all boats and make a city and a community stronger, more vibrant, and more successful for all of its residents. So next, and some of you will remember this, I know, Nancy started her own company called Nan Cakes, right? I see the heads nodding, which sold her absolutely delicious carrot cakes to restaurants, grocery stores, Nordstrom cafes across the country. I really miss those days of your yummy cakes, Nancy. She learned a lot through that experience about creating and running a small business and what it really means to be an entrepreneur. Long hours, am I right? Long hours, lots of responsibility, taking risks, dealing with often burdensome government regulations, and rising to challenges day after day. Next came the opportunity for Nancy to head up Aviatra Accelerators, an incubator for small businesses that focuses primarily on women entrepreneurs, which is her current position. In less than 2 years in that role, Nancy has established a corporate headquarters, and she's nearly quadrupled the number of the company's employees. She's really making a difference and changing the work profile of Cincinnati with her efforts. And over the years, Nancy has been hugely involved in the community, whether it's been working on successful political campaigns for high integrity, high character, wonderful candidates like U.S. Senator Rob Portman, or helping the United Way, the Junior League, this list goes on, the Cincinnati Ballet, Stepping Stones, Fernside Center for Grieving Children, the Alt Park Advisory Council, or her church. She's pitched in and given her time and her know-how and her effort. And finally, as Nancy talked about, and is because a number of you in the room, I know you have kids who have benefited directly from this commitment, Nancy is already an elected office holder. President? Are you still president of the Indian Hill School Board? Which is very impressive. I don't know how you do it. I just don't think there are enough hours in the day, Nancy, to do all that you seem to accomplish. So Nancy shared with us her personal reasons for running for the auditor's office. And the bottom line is that Nancy knows she can make it a better run, more efficient office with newer technology in order to interface better with taxpayers, to provide a helping hand to businesses small and large, bring a business approach to the work of the auditor, and generally streamline services there. Those are all really important goals that Nancy has for this office. And she also knows the importance of being that fiscal watchdog for Hamilton County to ensure that taxpayer dollars are being well spent. You all know, I'm sure, that at one point we were practically an all-Republican Hamilton County, and with only one Democratic auditor. And you know, the whole lineup has kind of shifted and changed now. And I think it's really important that we have someone like Nancy in place to help hold everybody accountable. So I really applaud Nancy for being willing to throw her hat in the ring, to step up in what some have called the Year of Women, with so many women running for public office throughout the United States. Nancy's election would also fit well in the profile of our own greater Cincinnati area as well. Nancy mentioned that I'm the first woman in 135 years to be the chair of the Board of Trustees at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. It's a role that I'm honored to have at an institution that I think is incredible. It's ranked, this is my moment, it's ranked in the top 3 pediatric hospitals in the country. Last year we had more than 1.3 million patient encounters. We serve kids from right in our own backyard of Avondale, but also from all 50 states and from 58 countries around the world. So I digress, but think about this. I'm really proud of Cincinnati Children's. I'm really proud of Nancy Aichholz. So if you think about it, women in our city also lead the Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Cincinnati Foundation, the Greater Cincinnati Airport Board, the Red Cross, Ready, Museum Center, and you know, there are probably a number of you in here who are running institutions as well. So don't you all agree with me that it's about time we elect Nancy Aichholz, the first woman auditor of Hamilton County? But what I find really most special about all of this is that Nancy is really in this for the right reason. She's doing this to make a difference, to make her home of Hamilton County a better place for families and businesses. In stepping up to run for this office, Nancy is continuing her strong commitment she has always had to her community, and to her family, and to her work, her neighborhood, and her church. It takes a lot of time, as so many of you know. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of willpower to run a campaign like this, much less take on this big auditor's job. So when I was thinking about my remarks and what I wanted to say, I decided to ask a few people, a number of you are in the room with me today, to tell me about how you see Nancy. How do you know Nancy? What do you think makes Nancy qualified for an office like this? What makes her the special person that she is? What are the traits that would qualify her to hold this office and to serve the public? And here are some of the words that were used to describe her. Involved, faithful, determined, energetic, smart, loyal. You can nod because you're all feeling this, aren't you? Nancy's a person of integrity. She's forward-thinking. She's strong-willed. And most importantly, she is a person who makes things happen. All of these qualities are ones that I would seek in someone seeking public office. And goodness knows it's really not easy being in this business today. Amy Murray and I were talking about city council to the U.S. Senate and everything in between. It's kind of a tough climate out there, as so many of you know. Whew. My husband Rob is so honored to serve as your U.S. Senator. And he is among a handful of senators who are actually getting something done in Washington, whether it's the tax reform bill or combating the opioid epidemic or fighting human and sexual trafficking. But over time, he's really seen and witnessed and experienced a hardening of partisan gridlock. And let's face it, as you can all see, our country seems more divided than ever these days. We want people like Nancy Aichholz running for office these days who are willing to be servant leaders. That is, a servant leader is a person who wants to do for others, to help others, and to serve others. Not someone who simply seeks power or attention, but rather a person of humility, integrity, yes, with thick skin, and a sense of always making a choice to do what is right. And again, Nancy's in it for the right reasons. We are so proud to be here to support her. Rob and I are proud to support her in this campaign. I know all of you are here for the same reason. We know her, we love her, we respect her, and we are certain that Nancy Aichholz is going to serve all of us and all of her neighbors in Hamilton County so well. So in closing, I'll just say thanks so much for having me here today, and thanks for supporting Nancy as she counts down to November. We're looking forward to that. Thanks, everybody.